With that coveted spot at Bangkok denied them yesterday by G2, Sentinels have taken an important first step in that direction again. A strong 13-7 showing on Lotus over MIBR, but this is MIBR's map pick of Abyss, one where they've looked quite good in SEN. We just saw them put it on display yesterday. They're running back this double controller composition that we saw.
So that's telling me that they believe the loss had more to do with G2 and less to do with them. They feel that they can improve with this comp after its shortcomings were on display yesterday. Narrate going to be on that Omen again. He struggled so hard, was left out to dry, anchoring over on that B site, was getting split by Jogamo coming up mid constantly. It was so rough for him.
Yeah, there was like dimensional drifts coming up behind him, smoke in his way. Zekken would push off that site and die early. He'd be alone. It was tough, but he's got the momentum now, and SEN also get to start on the attack side with this double controller comp.
That is the crucial point for me. This comp should be better on attack than defense, and that was displayed in the G2 game. They got 2 rounds on defense, they were able to get 5 on attack, but at that point, the G2 lead was insurmountable. How good they were on attack was irrelevant, but this is an opportunity to get out to a big lead, and then, even if their defense is weaker, they've got enough of a buffer that they can convert against MIBR on their own map pick.
The smoke-heavy comp can let them shut down Aspas's defense side, opping to a degree as well as they cut the map up and take that space. Well, let's see how the pistol goes. So much rides on getting out to an early lead.
And yesterday, this was the map where Aspas dropped a cool 29 for 9 against Crew.
Light work for the young thug. Aspas not being able to connect any shots, but eventually Zekken alights on that low ground. It's a bit of a nasty trade for him, though, and the Nova Pulse will stun Aspas for the time being. You won't be able to get back out to coast yet.
SEN are so weak. They're caught in the smoke. The spam through from Cortesia for a second.
Aspas low. Still wins it out, though. Cortesia is just shooting, man. Zelsa said that 1v3. God, he had an incredible map, but he would have to ace again. Here in this pistol, I think he's deciding the orb is the best course of action, and he'll try his luck at A.
Might be able to get a second orb, honestly, at the very least over there. We'll see if he can beat the timing. And frankly, he will, just on account of MIBR. They have no reason to try and over-rotate here. Just play together, trade this out in a 3 versus 1. Hey, this isn't bad for Zelsis. He gets to play 2. He's already got 5 orbs.
I do also, I mean, that ultimate, pretty crucial in terms of SEN's overall strategy. They get within striking distance of a site by smoking the map and then just fast hit it with that null command.
Definitely. I mean, they might have this ready for their first buy round, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Zelsis is on fire.
He's hearing all this.
Be a crazy clutch to win, though.
No. Let's be somewhat reasonable. Wraps around, takes the shot, opts not to wait on it. Now, though, of course, it's pretty evident where he's going to be coming from, and there's a defuse happening. Noswell will clip his wings. That's MIBR out of the stables first.
There was a great defense from MIBR. Aspas stepping up to win the Jet head-to-head against Zekken, who just couldn't path into the site properly. Caught over on the cliffside, awkward around the cage, and the rest of SEN, they were just delayed behind that nebula. I don't think that Zelsis had a flash to actually pop out of that smoke, so they were just stood around waiting.
Did Aspas body block Zekken on top of container there?
I think he might have done.
Denying him that, but because he's trying to dive into that very cloud burst. Cheeky.
Aspas has picked up the Outlaw here now. Again, I'm looking back at the status of Zelsis. I mean, he could, if he just dies in this round, he will have the null command for their first buy.
2 kills, 3 kills in fact, and 2 orbs. It's going to get you most of the way there. Cortesia backing over towards Link here. Cyber Cage to break up the side a little bit. There's 2 players inside the dark cover. 1 TP'd, 1 dashed, and Zekken emerges. Takes down Artazine, and once again Cortesia affected by that Nova Pulse. Hello! Here comes Sentinels. They don't even give you time to answer the door. They bust down through it.
That second wave of utility was beautiful. It was Zelsis with another high flash after the first.
They've got 2 Bulldogs to work with. Genom gonna get swung on here. That's classy stuff, though. Zelsis and Zekken come crumbling down, but Genom is now very low. Aspas with that tailwind.
30 HP.
Surely they can collapse on this. Surely MIBR can land this plane. It's been a very maladroit landing for them so far. And they're going to sneak out into post-plant positions. Okay, get out of this, unreal! Aspas drops the Outlaw. Genom with 4 health has to cross and try and defuse. This was all looking so good. Just like they drew it up, and now Genom's going to salvage this Guardian and walk away.
Genom just didn't cross in that timing. SEN weren't even repositioned to spam the spike, but they get away with the round win because Aspas is caught in the open, doesn't get the shot off.
That is not reasonable.
We've seen, what, since the second half of Lotus, 3 eco round wins now. You have to give credit to Zelsis, though. He
Big
had
flash.
some awkward flashes, to say the least, on this map yesterday, but they're paying dividends with that second utility wave. You could see the 2 players, it was Zekin and Narrate, who had teleported up top on B, waiting for the pop, and then they go out. They're able to get that kill. That was really excellently played, about as well as you could possibly play that situation.
On Lotus, it was Zelsis and Narrate. Already on Abyss, it's been about them as well. Talk about taking the wind out of your sails. MIBR have been forced to drop anchor here and come in with just that Guardian they salvaged.
Some generosity from Shenum throwing that over to the star player Aspas.
Generosity or prime directive? I don't think Shenum was ever gonna... He's not high enough on the pecking order for that one, Chief. Noswood chilling at upper. MIBR look to flood here now. They're breaking into the side. Aspas sat down. John now emerging low on health, but happy to leverage his weapon advantage. Not much left to work with now. Cortesi and Nosva getting taken down one by one. That constant smoking up to that high ground with this double controller comp means that he couldn't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah, good play with the utility. Narrate.
Well,
was that perhaps a jump off the map, try and teleport, but miss the teleport? I'm going to chalk it up to that one, maybe.
won't be signing him up for the Red Bull base jump anytime soon.
We'll see that in the replay. Aside from that silly little moment, though, another great round from SEN, where you are seeing the intentions of this double smoke comp come to fruition, where you have Bang able to focus on using his stars for a grab well in that instance, but the dark cover can still, you know, obscure some of these angles like the one in heaven.
Isn't it nice to have that level of redundancy that you get to use that util as Astra?
Oh, big assist! Big assist.
Use that util as Astra to catch people out. We saw the Nova Pulse on Aspas in round 2 as well.
All right, Sentinels looking to pressure towards mid against this full buy from MIBR.
Okay, the deep smoke mid. SEN would like to capitalize.
And by the way, Zelsis, he's continuing to retain this null command for the full buy round. That could be pivotal in converting. You can see MIBR playing around that by having Cortesia over towards the B site, while his setup, those kill trips are over towards A so they don't get turned off.
That being said, were Shenum to get caught in the null command, those stars would not be useful, so he'll need to be pretty reactive when it comes to buying time. Pops a Nebula now, as 0 Point sees nobody close, so green light here for SEN. Here's that null command. Time to get your motor running. We'll see the gravel thrown out, but they've waited out. Zelsis flashes, and in they go. Shenum stunned out there. Okay, just knocks Zelsis out of absolutely nowhere. Good start. SEN now milling around the A main, still want to keep that pressure going. Narrate has gotten in behind them. Oh, what a nasty little paranoia. Zekin's not quite there to capitalize on it, but Aspas is essentially solo there. Shenum for 2, hang about. Somehow he's been let off the chain.
In the midst of it, they were actually able to get the res as well.
Again, he was re-downed. Still no plant.
Didn't end up mattering, but they've got the man advantage, Sentinels. They just have to deal with Cortesia, who's in that dark cover. They want to post up in the side. Zekin watching the flank.
There's just so many smokes here.
Yeah, it's so oppressive to try and wade through.
Ooh, okay, Cortesi takes a headshot early. It's Aspas in the 1 versus 3 to salvage the round. This is the buy for MIBR. And he's got 4 bullets left. If he gets double-faced, that's not going to be enough.
Maybe could kill Bang, get a reload.
He doesn't see this. He doesn't see the player on top, and Bang descends upon him.
MIBR struggling there in the mid-round. For a moment, they understood that where those smokes were deep in mid could mean that there was a deep walk-up. That was the case. Narrate and Zekin pushed all the way up. For a moment there, Aspas was on the angle towards mid, but gave it up to focus on anchoring A, playing around the trips when the null command hit came in. That was their undoing, though, and that is one of the big advantages of the comp that SEN had. Those sightlines on mid are obnoxiously long, and that being able to smoke those off to contact walk up is a great way to get around just the way the map is laid out.
Yeah, at what point does Cortesia start thinking about tripping it? We did see that in the crew game. Shy was putting these deep trips in mid.
Yeah, at the moment he's just favored towards setting up anchoring kill trips for the sites. But you're right, that is going to have to be an adjustment at some point, or else they're going to have to commit too many other resources to picking those angles up.
And we saw in that game, there was a whole mini game about using your shocks to try and guess where the trip was. Cross that bridge when we get to it, folks. Second, cloud bursts in the nebula, implying that he's dove into it. Sees nothing at the post and is just trying to sell this as well as he can. The TP in for Narrate. Sticking it. Oh, he's unhinged! And Cortesia's head goes rolling.
You can't be getting away with that. You
He's
just
got 3
cannot
people
be.
here, Wyatt. This is like catnip for MIBR. Eventually he goes down, but it's all going to be on Artazine here to stop this flood of players. Flash will herald their arrival, and in they come. Artazine just doesn't have the weaponry to hold him at bay. It's all coming apart at the seams here for MIBR, and they're short on thread.
Aspas with the share of Naswar recovered Narrate's rifle off that great, I mean, I want to say sell towards the B site, which it was, but a little bit extra on top.
That was a set phases to warp feed from Narrate, and he still gets the kill. Unreal respect, honestly.
Naswar has a recon there, could have sent it into heaven to clear that space, but it looks like he just wants to save and maybe do a little damage on the way out.
Obviously a buy the next round here for MIBR. Aspas only dropping the Sheriff to the ground. Really, Celsius? You don't drop that, bro? Our friend is gun maxing here. It's going to be Noswa holding onto this Vandal. Theoretically, Celsius drops his.
Zelsa's on a mission to get another null command early. I mean, how many Steel Gardens did this dude pop off in Lotus? Like 4 or 5.
It's like aggressive Steel Gardens.
Crazy.
On the raid is so cracked.
So many ults.
Oh, Cortesi, that's the
Tank
timing
as well.
If he got timing's pretty bad. They're overwhelmed there. Great sell. I mean, you know, Zekin dipped his toe in, threw a cloud burst, you know, dashed around a little bit. But I mean, you're not going to argue with Narrate TPing into the site. You're going to be convinced that it's a hit at that point. MIBR call a timeout here as they lose 4 consecutive rounds, and combined to the next one, you have to think that Aspas defensive operator play has got to come into effect soon.
That's what we saw in the mix after the defensive timeout was called at the tail end of Lotus by Coach Fraud. So we'll see if that's going to be a common trend here. This is obviously a map where the op can dominate due to those aforementioned sightlines that are just so far. But dangerous when you're just getting smoked off. Not even dangerous, just frustrating. You can't, some of those angles Aspas isn't going to be able to pick up, though. That's not to say he doesn't have the confidence to swing through smokes with the op, go for a quick shot and dash away.
How does that fare against, you know, this SEN with more smokes than an average Texas barbecue restaurant?
Yeah, it is tough. Those mid angles are not going to be easy to pressure. But it is something I imagine they're going to want to lean into. They've got a few ults here coming into this round, but nothing of massive significance outside of a cosmic divide, perhaps. And yeah, Aspas does have that op, and well, he has the Blade Storm as well, if things get scrappy.
4-1 here for Sentinels. They started on the defense side of this map against G2 and were just slowly bundled out of the game without their consent. MIBR's Abyss, yep, they've won 13-8 against Crew, 13-10 against EG, 13-10 against C9 on this map.
Aspas is pushed in front of those smokes in mid to pick up the more aggressive angle action, then just retreats back through the nebula. There's the dark cover over for the vent walkway.
Probing here at B. Again, not the same density of kill trips for Cortesia. He finally has tripped mid, so he's a little bit less architecture to work around here. And Zekin will catch onto it, but it's just an info trip. Nowhere to play off of that. Senna pretty much under MIBR's noses already, and they got another wave of these smokes. It's going to let them walk up on this site.
Yeah, pause from Sen as they want to wait for those cages to expire. Spike goes down.
Still no chance for Aspas to make use of that operator. Now forced into a retake. Zekin got to hold his nerve here. Aspas pops himself up and Zekin pulls out. He doesn't want a bar of it. Aspas down to 4, man. This has not worked at all. This smoke-heavy comp just chokes out MIBR. Even the trip over towards mid, they might be getting conditioned to invest more resources on a part of the map that Sen didn't care less about in that round.
Up until this point, it has to be stated again how much better Celsius is playing, and specifically with his utility. Map 1 with the Vice, but right now, his flashes are getting work done. Those second layers of utility with the high flash that Zekken is able to swing off of there. They all fight shelf together off the back of Zekken taking that initial contact. So much better than some of the flashes we saw yesterday against G2. I'm loving this so far. This is the attack side that we just didn't get to see much of. But my question really is, you know, if MIBR are to make a comeback here when the sides swap, unless they rally back now, you know, how many do they need on defense if SEN are not able to step it up on their own defensive side from what we saw against G2?
Aspas is positively bristling after that last round goes horribly wrong. And so it gets the silverware out. That Aldrin from Nosma doesn't spot anything. Another slow start to the round for Sen, but they've got these smokes to cut these angles off. Nosma falls off the line, and Aspas beautifully done. Gets in and gets out, clean as a whistle.
For a second there, we were about to witness the exact same thing that happened to Crew yesterday. Just slipped away with the one, though.
Here's that null command, though, so it will allow Sen to get into the site. Nothing really that MIBR can say about it. They don't have anything really to stall with anyway. And now we fall back to those post-plant positions. Bang and Celsius in the side itself. John down to 5, so he's playing right back towards Coast. And here's that Cosmic Divide thrown up by Bang.
Excellent. This is going to be so tough for MIBR to get through. They want a pop flash. Here comes Aspas.
In he goes. Bang does fall. Aspas gets some knife purchase, and Celsius is on his own. Pinged out by the rule theft. Still pretty classy with the right click. Aspas is coming for him though, and he knows it. He doesn't care. Not too shabby. But not quite enough for Sen in that round. There's a thrifty here for MIBR.
A team that has certainly been defined by the star power, and it's Aspas on this map in particular. You know, we mentioned it against Cruz, that 29 for 9 game. He came up with the Blade Storm in the exact same position.
Oh, yeah, you've got to be ready for it.
Gets the one, dashes out.
No chance for it.
Aspas has some of the best jet movement in the world, but specifically when he needs to retreat, he is excellent at getting out of tough situations. Really excels in those kind of moments. And then the repush in past the Cosmic Divide, Pop Flash coming through to support him. Gets their economy stabilized. They recover a bunch of those rifles, and now they have the AWP back in his hands. He's playing towards Heaven, Aspas.
Young Zekken ready to turn it up a notch. Stinger and Blade Storm for this round, so able to pocket a bit of extra money. Aspas on a really passive angle here. Those trips all committed to the A side of the map this time around. Okay, so plenty to see in mid, honestly.
Yeah, spotting out that Omen who has made a lot of presence up in mid for Sentinels. That's going to draw some attention from MIBR. Notice Cortesia towards the upper right of the minimap now has to cover a more passive angle towards mid as the split onto A. It's trying to come in from Sen. They have a lot of util to deal with for the anchors.
Cortesia's got to stay alive here. Zekken. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge. Nope, not going to be good enough. The rate ends up going down to that Hunter's Fury in the end. Shenham is so dependable as an anchor. Up to Celsius once more. And as MIBR starting to string them together. Beautifully done. Aspas with a safe angle in mid doesn't really see the need to get involved. They play to the extremities.
The Hunter's Fury from Noswar was excellent on this timing. Forcing Second into a tough situation. At the moment, I'm questioning, where are the shock darts to break these trips? We're just running into the first one, the closest one. Those have to get broken.
Yeah, we're looking at John. Start to open those up a little bit more. They've got to be aware that Cortesia is investing those heavily in these sort of grid matrices on these sites.
And yet again in this default, double smoke for top mid, but Aspas, he walks through.
So much information for Aspas. Other sees everything he needs to and gets some free damage on Bang at that.
0 point absolutely shuts down Sen's effort to press forward there. They have to slow the round down at this point.
Look at that deep trip by Cortesia.
And that's the kind of trip that they're going to need to place. They're going to have to sacrifice site trips just to have some passive information on mid. Yeah,
they can't be destroyed in fairness by a shock dart, but not that Sen have really been looking to do that.
Aspas is rotated over to the proper site. Null command pop. This is awful for the 10 hit, but the smoke drops.
And that's what happened to Zekin so many times yesterday on this map. This time he's able to flip the script. And 2 MIBR players fall before they can have a say.
This is so disconnected from MIBR. Zekin is watching the flank patiently. Can Cortezia win the duel? He can't. It's all on our Zin.
And they've got to know there's a player sat here. This is such a common spot to hold for defenders, but we have a cancel briefly called here by Sen. They're going for the re-hit now. That second wave of util. Zekin, though, was felled instantly. Bang! Able to just collapse on Artazine while he's stunned out, and that Genom has so much to do from here. And close for comfort there, but Sen exit the round with 2 up.
MIBR, unfortunately for their sake, getting really disconnected with the swings over on B. After the Nebula drop, Aspas, it's just firing range in his face. 4 players to shut him down in this moment. But then Aspas tries to swing out of heaven. He's facing into all of these players. Haphazard to say the least. Cortezia then, he feels like he needs to be a hero, but he's being watched on the mid flank. The drop to rope.
I mean, that's 2 back-to-back rounds from Aspas where his positioning's been nothing short of audacious. First the push ahead of the mid-smoke, and then that out in the open. This time punished.
Now playing in a leaf-like position, gets the first. Can he get out? He's caught on the wall. That is a disaster.
But that's a second round where he's committed an operator into it. Zelsis coming forward now. Null command. Active for Zelsis. Cortezia doesn't quite have the line up there. Still no stick on the spike. There it is. Bang gets it down, and then a relatively unscathed Sen are just going to back off and play post-plant.
Yeah, opting to retreat for main. They still have a little bit of util to play with. There's a molly for Zelsis for some delay. John Condrontis, just to make sure that no one's pushing too close, gets a tag on Cortezia.
A little uncomfortable. That's going to slow things down further. Narrate does get pinged out by the 0 point. John looks like he's got some shock dart set up here. Delsa sprays down through that cyber cage. Down to 2 MIBR, they're running out of time, but Cortezia finds 3, twirling his moustache evilly. Got a chance here to salvage a round, but time is not on his side. Into the cyber cage, give it a tap, and hope for the best. He'll get another gun out of the game here, and Narrate has to hang around and give up his gun too.
Ultimately, there are just too many Sen players remaining in main. I like that teleport position from Narrate as well, just offering an additional element to their crossfire when that might be our players are forced to get forward. Another timeout called from them.
One enemy remaining.
Tell you what, these youngsters on MIBR, impressive.
I tanked everybody's flash in that game. Oh.
Including your teammates, perhaps?
Zelsis. Can we check in on the flash?
Was that passive aggressiveness from the rest? Timeout here called by MIBR. That's the kind of round where just the sheer volume of that smoke util coming out from Sentinels, plus the early pick on the start of that round. Aspas not able to have an impact. Another op bought in. Dropped away quickly.
By the way, we're 10 rounds in, and Zelsis is again top fragging the entire server with 12 kills right now. This guy's form is really elevated at the end of this tournament. Lives for the high pressure situations.
A pretty satisfied looking Sen City so far. Some MIBR presence dotted amongst them. 7-3 is the score. Another great first half for Sentinels. But again, that's kind of what they want to do with this composition wide is get on the attack side first, stifle off those op angles, and look at this comp. It really has made it hard for Aspas to shine with the defensive operator play.
Sen gathered up towards this A side, maybe intending on going for a split down mid. Again, here are those smokes, disrupting information for MIBR.
And again, it could imply anything. It's going to keep Noswa right back watching that line, and Narrate is in a position to hit tower quickly. In he goes.
Yeah, there's the vent break, and there's the shock dart. John wants to break the trips.
Into the site they go. Still a trip up, but it's not in a position to really impact Sentinels at this point. They're in the site. Genom's already gone down. All of the Astra util for a post-plant setup now, no longer available. It's an awkward buy for MIBR. Aspas has the hero rifle, coming back through defender spawn now.
This is going to be next to impossible for MIBR. There's not a lot of post-plant util for Sentinels. That may be the one saving grace. Still, though, the weaponry is just so weak. You're relying on Osbos and Noswar right now.
It's really only a recon, you're right, but they'll anchor this. Zekin will sit in the site and throw down. The guns aren't great here for MIBR, so numbers is something they have to leverage. Someone got pinged out there. 0 points being exchanged, and we're getting pretty close now on time. Noswar found 2, but eventually he'll be brought down. It's really elementary for Sentinels. Smoke deep in mid, get narrate into tower, and then get in a 1-kill, smoke it out, play for the post plant.
The numbers are just too overwhelming, and again, that weaponry is too weak. Cortezia had a moment where he could have maybe gotten the headshot with the Sheriff, but if he had a rifle there, probably would have converted, and it's the little moments like that that it comes down to.
6 away.
13 kills and 13 assists. It's just lights out from this guy right now.
Aspas, of course, is the kill leader in VCT Americas. He'll be the first to pass 2,000. Will it be on this map, though? I'm not sure.
Glass cannon operator for him towards B, and what do you know? 2 smokes and a recon deep into mid for Sen, and they're going to go ahead and walk up for free.
Yep. This time, though, there's a bit more than just narrate getting into vent. He does break it open, so that already is starting to furrow the brow of the defenders over there. Camera ping, I think they're on the Zekin. This is going to force MIB. Look, where are they safe on their side? Nowhere, really.
Only in this smoke. The shot, or the trips rather, weren't broken, but bang, what a swing.
Yeah, his open is a bit awesome. Walking up into that site, and again, it feels unlosable for Sentinels, this situation, where they've got a post plant with even more utility than they had earlier to work with. Bang has a star up still, and he can make use of this Cosmic Divide. Yeah, it's round 12. Pop off, King.
This is certainly going to a 9-3. Osbos just can't win this out with the AWP, with the Hunter's Fury on him.
It looks like he's playing Subway Surfers, up, down, left, right. Dodging everything, that's pretty clean. And again, this is an objective game, folks, and Aspas has 20 solitary points of health left. 19 more than he needs, in fairness. But it's a Sisyphean task for him. And Sentinels have another 9-3 half. 2 consecutive maps.
They were just splitting A with ease. MIBR never went for a aggressive mid-round play in mid. Maybe there could have been a moment where they try to pop flash out with multiple players, catch one of those Sen guys walking up, contacting. It never came, and Sen were able to get all of their perfect executes off, making it look all too easy.
6-round lead of the half. We've got Rivington standing by with Sentinels CEO Rob Moore, who I'm sure is going to smile on his face.
That's right, I'm joined by Rob Moore down here on the stage, CEO of Sentinels. I gotta ask, things are looking a little bit better today, especially on Abyss. How you feeling?
A little bit better than yesterday. Yesterday I was just pacing around all angry. But, you know, this is like Masters Madrid. For those of you who didn't notice, what happened at Masters Madrid, we got rolled by Gen G, went to the loser bracket, won, and then came back and took out Gen G. So hopefully the script writers are liking sequels.
In a little bit of that fact, we were talking earlier, you're saying, yeah, they might have Ospas, but today we have Zelsis. What's it been like watching Zelsis get aces and just absolutely frag out game 1?
That is the craziest, that is probably the craziest map I think I've seen. But yeah, Zelsis has the hack because he is using both the Sen Classic and the Sen Mouse.
It's easy. It's easy. We were looking earlier, and he's like, I don't even really watch the game at the end. I just look for Zelsis to get hype and actually go for the cheers. What else? How are you feeling about Narrate today? He's playing a lot better. How's it been having him on the squad?
Narrate brings a lot of energy, but he's young, so he's very streaky. But when he's feeling it, so like you could tell yesterday, the thing I was most impressed yesterday is how rough map 1 was, but he came back map 2 and he led the team in kills, so that was impressive, his ability to really get back in there.
That's awesome. And before I let you go here, you get a lot of Valorant to watch now. You got Qbert Academy as well. How's it been having a bit more to the family?
Qbert Academy is the best because, for better or worse, we can't win Ascension, so I don't have to stress as much. So we can just have a lot of fun, and Tarek has decided to watch party, so we just goof around, and it's the one time where Tarek doesn't jinx the team. Because the biggest change today, Tarek is hating me right now, is Tarek is not sitting here.
Ooh.
Tarek's at home today. So we have hope. We can win today.
Oh, sorry, little bro. Rob Moore, though, thank you so much. Best of luck in the match with the team. Back to you guys.
There's a lot going on in the Sentinels engine room at the moment. It's great to have Qubit Academy in challenges. You can check that out, of course, during the week, Tuesday, Wednesdays. You might even see myself and Dr. Wyatt River over there occasionally. But again, great to hear the talk about, you know, Zelsis and Narrate, two players who we're not usually seeing in the spotlight for this team, but man, they've really come alive, showing us this depth to this Sentinels roster.
Two players, though, to the match we have to call back to, which is SEN versus G2. We're struggling so much on defense. Narrate was just getting overwhelmed, anchoring that B site on countless rounds. The way that G2 were exploiting mid there. Did SEN do enough on this attack half to win? Or will their defense just be better today?
MIBR only managed 4 rounds after going down 3-9 on Lotus, but a very different map. And a side that Sentinels showed some clear difficulty with yesterday. Nozza was going to get the shock of a lifetime.
Oh, so is Cortesia. Both of them brought low.
Great damage. Damage alone does not win rounds. However, headshots definitely go a long way towards that. Aspas here is about to have to hold back the hordes of Hades.
He is all alone. He has to pop off in this situation.
Paranoia is going to whistle past him. It's going to be 1-by-1 stuff. And Aspas in a great position to cut them down. Eventually SEN get their act together. Double swing, John QT going to walk over the kill. Cortesia flattened. Nozwa low. Genom not in a position to intervene, but the shock is good. Oh, it's perfect. That is stunning. Double shock kill, and Genom swoops in for the credit.
we got our pistol round defined by shock darts. And Aspas on that deep position on his lonesome.
He did enough.
Artson and him really got disconnected in how they wanted to play back sight, with Artson swinging alone, didn't have that trade, and now it's Aspas staring down. The horde coming forward, gets his 2, and offers enough delay that these SEN guys have to get on the spike ASAP. Noswor's chilling with his shock darts in main the entire time. A must-win pistol round for MIBR.
Did I remind you, MIBR immediately got thrifted after winning the pistol in the second half of Lotus. They had better have their wits about them.
Center stacked up towards B. Surely MIBR won't
There's
walk
no way
right
they'd
into
go
this.
B.
They would never walk into this stack and feed their players away.
We're already seeing this Cortesia mid lurk, though. He might be able to glean enough information to expose Sentinel's defense plan in this round.
Yeah, this was something that was highlighted by Mimi on the desk. Cortesia is at looking mid. Great first
He might
kill.
have a timing here. I don't know if SEN are ready for this at all. Bang thinks about it. He won't be ready. Oh, homies in the astral plane, cooking Pop-Tarts. He's still able to pop back down and clean up Cortesia. We're in a 2 versus 4.
And when you are that Sentinel with the ghost as well,
Fair enough.
shout out to G2.
Yeah. Shout out to Lothar.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Never
honest
gets
Valorant
old.
fans.
Never gets old. What happened to the game I love?
All right. Aspas closing in on that 2,000 kill mark.
That is mental. Clearing 2K kills. No
Just
one
in
else is even
Americas, by the way.
close right now.
Not even
If he
globally.
gets to 12.
That's the magic number, folks. All right. SEN not able to thrifty this time around. Guns in hands. Ready to go.
And this is not too bad at all for an MIBR bonus looking at the buy. They have some good rifles here. They're gathered up towards A main. Not a lot of util defensively for SEN on this A site. It's reliant on Zekin wanting to take this first engagement and then dash away dodges. The flash gets some damage in. Able to dash before, caught by the 0 point.
Seconds in, so Prescott is ready to throw down. Aspas, his first victim. Nebula gets him out, back to safety. They pull off the site.
That is exactly what he wants to do in that situation. He's just fighting for 1 and to get out. Plays it to perfection. Man advantage retake.
Artazine pinged a lot of damage on Noswa just getting into this site in the first place.
Can Cortesia get this backstab through vent though?
Got up ropes somehow, but he's left the rest of MIBR out at sea. He's able to make use of the fact that he sneakily got into tower here. Zekin's going to be hot on his heels, baby. 4 kills for the pride of New Jersey. And Sentinels stretch the lead to 5.
4 effortless looking kills for the star of Sentinels that has had to be the star for this team when they're coming up short. He's the one who's been able to turn the
Oh
tide.
man, Guy must have lapped like a cobra with all the carrying he did so far in kickoff. but didn't have to be the standout in that last map.
Nice, Zach. Let's.
No, it was Narrate and Zelsis stepping up. But I wonder how things would have turned out if he had never gotten that ace clutch against Loud. We might be looking at a totally different tournament. But that's what he brings to SEN. A level of star power that most teams just do not have. He's one of the best in the world, regarded as that for a reason. MIBR, full buy, everything on the line. This is their map pick, on the verge of being stolen away.
Exchange of utils spots Aspas in the middle of the map. Smoke here in theory to waylay his push-up. Noswa though, not bothered by it. He will put an owl drone in the link direction.
It gets into a pretty forward position, so it does actually cover a lot of ground.
Doesn't say too much though about what SEN's setup is. They just spot bang there. Narrate, excuse me.
And just a few seconds ago, after that drone expired, Zelsis threw his 0 point over towards B main. Didn't catch anyone, and you can see him now rotating off, picking up mid. He gets the kill on Cortesia because of that info he got. And of course, a snappy shot with the form he's in. Can Zekin make magic happen, anchoring again?
He's holding for a shot here, hoping for a ping from somebody, doesn't get it. Does he just audaciously swing out? I'd be terrified. Zekin! Aspas catches him.
Planted.
Big risk taken, shut down for it. Noswa, Hunter's Fury to deny the retake, deny someone sticking the spike. He's retreated over towards main. Even as shock darts as well. We saw the value we got from those before.
Aspas on the verge of a massive milestone here in VCT Americas. That was ugly. Oh, he's brought down. Zelsis busts in there. And Narrate rappels down.
Last player standing.
And there it is. It's going to be up to Noswa here. Ooh, buddy, this is a tall order. Zelsis already on the defuse, getting it to half. Noswa going to have that weapon dropped, no doubt about it.
Not fully suppressed, and even at that, doesn't want a Hunter's Fury. Knows he's just going to get run down if he even could have popped that ult off. That was primed and ready for MIBR to win. Things were a mess for SEN in spawn. There's Zelsis is out in the open, just underhand lobbing a flash. I mean, we gotta calm down a little bit there.
It's like he's feeding seagulls.
All good. He immediately swings and finds the kill though.
Zekin was posted up inside that smoke at the start of the round, hoping for a ping off of John.
Nice! Oh my god, what a knife, Jordan. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely,
big info off
0
that.
points in that round that were crucial for Zelsis. His utility is so much better today.
Sentinels a win here sets them up with a date with Pearl. A map that's been great for them. A chance to just breeze into Bangkok and the finals here of Kickoff.
You are divided.
All right, MIBR now with the Cosmic Device. Zelsis confidently steps ahead of it. Artazine just walks into that one. Look at this. Sentinels are brimming with self-belief. Oh my goodness! Aspas sat down! And Bang's got 4 in the round. Give him another. Noswa, no interest in fairy tales. For him, he's living the cold, hard reality of falling behind 5-12. And that's nothing to smile about.
20 HP remaining. SEN players posted up. There's even a flank coming from Zekin.
Strong wind to blow him over here. Zekin, force of nature that he is, will close the account. And we are now at map point. Sentinels, a 7-round lead. But what is his flick?
Oh my god, the speed
That
on
is-
that is sickening.
You are horrible. You are terrible.
That's messed up, man. Last chance for MIBR. Their own map pick, and yet SEN are winning in more dominant fashion than they did on their own map pick. Lotus first. It's starting on that attack side that really gets the ball rolling for this composition, and then they just have to close it out with a significant advantage.
It's been so hard for some of these MIBR players to get into the game. Artazine especially. It's been a brutal outing for him.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear Noswa say in an interview before the game, these two teams have never played each other before, not even in a scrim.
Yeah, they don't scrim, yeah.
So SEN are coming in with a style that MIBR are just not used to. They don't have that experience.
I mean, they only had overnight to study the VODs from this Abyss gameplay.
Yeah, of course you can say the same thing for the Sentinels team, right?
Well, there's been a lot of tape, honestly, for MIBR's Abyss.
I mean, MIBR, compared to other teams in this tournament, they played 5 games already. There's a lot to review for these guys. You know Kaplan has just been in the laboratory.
Yeah, another hidden disadvantage of having to run the lower bracket to get to this game.
It's been a gauntlet for them. 4 wins in a row up until this point.
Sen getting pretty active, swarming like a kicked anthill over on the B site. And there's your boy, John. Gets a bit of glory for himself. Push up there for Bang again. The confidence we saw in that previous round is carried over. Ends up being his undoing here, but here it is. Oh, man. Khajiit has buys if you have the coin. I've got the vibes for days.
Just Aspas, the miracle worker, left. 1 kill and he gets to that 2,000 in VCT.
Talk about bittersweet for Aspas.
But
A kill that could
ultimately-
be inconsequential.
Just doesn't
There it is.
matter.
He is kept
Zelsis,
short of the milestone.
he shuts him down. Another lights out map from Zelsis, continuing the snappy aim, getting crucial kills, but my God, the difference in his utility night and day from this game versus the one against G2 yesterday. He is having such outsized impact. I mean, he does end up top fragging this game too with the last kill. Why not? He is in peak form.
I mean,
It's
it's
some
clear
of the
to
best
see.
play I've ever seen from him.
And this team, when they get that wake-up call, especially with Kaplan at the helm, it really galvanizes them. They almost always bounce back from those brutal losses, and yesterday, you'd absolutely count that as one of them. The upside for them is that Bangkok is still on the line. They'll have time to prepare. And of course, they're up 2-0 in this series. You've got to be pleased with that.
This is against an MIBR, this newly formed team, bringing up these upcoming talents in Brazil from challengers teams. They have never played in a game with this level of pressure, and now they have to bounce back from being down 2-0, getting crushed on their own map pick. Heading to Pearl, a home map for Sen. It's time to rally back for MIBR.
Yeah, but MIBR have not lost on Pearl yet in this kickoff. We're going to go to break, folks, and when we come back, we're going to hear from our analysts as they prepare us for map 3 with a lot on the line.
So I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
저는 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.